Synthesis as perfection rather than pursuit. Words for me are a bridge. Hi, I can't believe how fast this year is flying. We're almost there at the solstice. I'm very happy to share that I'm relaunching my website. This is kind of a soft launch because I still have to update a lot of projects, and I will do that in due time without going into crazy crisis mode. I wanted this to come from a very personal place. I started designing websites back in the 90s, yes, learning code and creating these environments, or rather experiences, because I wanted to create something that didn't have a corporate feeling, something more like a process of creativity, a process of work. And this time is no different. Of course, there are menus and there is text and there are illustrations, but it is more like the experience of understanding or peeking into my reality, into what my world is. The last time I changed my website was exactly 10 years ago, 2016. That is a long time. Before that, it changed every 3 or 4 years as I was trying to keep up with the amount of work that I was doing because I have had a long career as an artist. And that was something else that really happened here, being able to realize how much work I have produced. Even though internally I feel like I'm in an identity crisis because the whole world is in one now, it made me realize how blessed I am for being able to have such much talent and to practice it in many different ways. And I'm not speaking from an arrogant place, I'm speaking from a humble place. I know that the talent I was given by the grace of the gods has found ways to shine, whether it is through public art commissions, which I have completely been devoted to from 2017 onward, and that was done in a very purposeful way. I left the gallery/museum world because it was something I was no longer identifying with, and it was no longer resonating with the person I was at the moment. I was in a state of flux as well. But before that, even before I started creating artwork, I was a photographer. I was a black and white photographer. And that work you won't see here for now. Around 3 decades ago, I went to see a psychic. Before I moved to New York, when I was a black and white photographer, she told me that my work was going to be known for color. I laughed. I liked black and white photography. I did not like color. She said, I cannot tell you when, but that is going to happen. You're going to become very well known because of your color. People are going to hire you because of your color. And here it is. I cannot do anything without so much color. How can you put together Austrian economics, Bitcoin, evolutionary astrology, human design, and public art? With philosophy, harmonics, somatic practice, trauma, fascia, breathwork, and humming? How do you do that? Well, I do it. I have been able to synthesize my life with all these subjects that are important to me. Obviously, the artwork is the base because it is the one I've been practicing for longer. But I also feel that without evolutionary astrology and human design, I wouldn't be in the place I am here. I went through a crisis after 2015, 2016, and it was through these systems that I was able to make radical changes in my life. And I promised myself that if I was going to come out of it, I would always be available for readings, which I do from time to time. And I love reading charts because the people that resonate with my readings are people that come for a very specific purpose, and they're not coincidence in life. So I love serving that way. Another factor that is very important is education. I come from a family of female pedagogues, and I was taught to teach whenever I love something. So that is what it is. I've been facilitating study groups. I have created courses that are self-study and also one-on-one with me. And there are two ways of interacting with this page. One is by curiosity, kind of losing yourself in what I've done. And the other is if you're looking for something specific, maybe you will find it. So here you go. Those are my kind words to you today. P.S. I've been considering looking at my archives going back before 2012, all the way to the 80s. And I have also been thinking about creating a feature where you can own one of my works. This will come in the next few weeks. I will let you know when it is ready. There's a new moon in Gemini falling in my 5th house tomorrow. It couldn't be a better time. So, with this Gemini state of mind, I leave you with your own curiosity. My website is Relaunch, a synthesis of 30 years of work. Everything I do is an art form, including the website. Curious? Enter Monica's universe. Have a great week.